Welcome back to the Smugglers Den. I'm your host, Tiny Grimes, and I bring you episode... I don't know. Who knows? It's been a while. 54. We're going to say 54. I don't know if that's right. That's fine. I've got Mike this week with me, the Rebel Spy himself. But before I continue, I first want to say thanks so much to all the Patreon patrons who have stuck with me during periods of more limited content. Thanks to Steve, Justin, Eric, John, Cintor, I think that's his real name, Nightbringer, Tropo Farmer, Daniel, Andrew, Terrence, Ryan, Stefan, Jeff, everyone out there. I'll try to get the rest of you next time. And not just for me, but thanks to all of you who support any content creators. It's probably not that well known that it is a difficult, thankless, time-consuming job. You make $0 on YouTube. You make $0 on podcasts. You pour all your blood, sweat, tears, and extra time into it. And it's so nice and rewarding to have some of that financial burden relieved from you. So thanks for myself. Thanks for others. And before we begin, one last quick thing. If you want me to keep making content, put a comment below that, yeah, I missed the Smugglers Den. I'm glad it's back. If you think that Smugglers Den's time has passed and we don't need any need for it, put that as well. Maybe in a friendly way, but you put that as well. All right. Well, let's get to the action. Let's bring in our good friend, the Rebel Spy. Mike, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm great. Getting over a cold, but other than that, I'm doing awesome. How about you?
I'm doing well. I want to tell you a quick story about you that you might find interesting.
Oh, okay.
I told some people, hey, good news, the Smugglers Den is coming back. And they were like, yeah, right, that's funny. I said, it is. It's just on hiatus. And Mike, the Rebel Spy, will be on it. And they were like, Mike, that guy, he's on everything. What's wrong with him? Pick somebody else. So, Mike, I don't know. Are you getting overexposed? I sure hope not.
I might be. I don't know. I have not heard that yet. So I apologize, everybody, if you're sick of hearing me talk about Star Wars Destiny.
And just to clarify, you're not exposed. No, okay, we won't even clarify that. Okay, good. Yeah, I say no. I say Mike is definitely not overexposed. But then again,
oh, thank you.
I'm gonna admit I haven't kept up with the content, so I don't know what you have and have not been on. Do you have like your own card now, and it's like the Rebel Spy, and it's just like the rookie pilot, only it's you, like that awkward smile. Hey, this is me.
100%.
No, you don't have a card like that.
Well, no, I 100% have a card like that.
Oh, awesome, good.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. So it's been a while since we've talked. Have you been playing some Destiny?
I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I have a YouTube channel up at youtube.com/rebelspy, so that might be part of the reason why I'm overexposed right now.
Nice.
But yeah, so I've just been playing a ton of Destiny, mostly online, although last weekend I hit up the Covenant Masters event in Tulsa. Yeah.
Wait, you flew to Tulsa last weekend?
I did.
Wow.
That's why I'm sick right now.
That's cool. How'd it go?
It was a lot of fun. I made top 8.
No, that's not what I'm asking you, Mike.
I made top 8.
Fun?
I made top 8. Unfortunately, top 8 doesn't mean anything. Only top 6 because it was a draft event.
I like how you said that, though. You made it sound like it meant something. You actually got last, but you're like, top 8 did. Okay, that wasn't the top 8. You know.
I was second place of all the last place people.
Nice. Okay, I don't know what that means. We're gonna say you got last.
Well.
That's cool. How many people were there?
There were 30 people there. A bunch of other people said that they would have come if it was Way of the Force, which I totally get.
Yep. That was an unfortunate timing for them. I'm sure they planned it out way in advance, and then it was like, oh, good news, you got totally screwed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, but FFG. Thanks for never having dates. It's really been convenient so far.
Definitely.
Oh,
but yeah, like all the cool, like, you know, Covenant prizes, like the tokens in the deck box were, you know, really, really well made, as to be expected, and it was just really cool to hang out with everybody.
Yeah. If there's one thing you can count on from Covenant, it is making cool stuff.
Yep.
They should just be cool stuff. Their name should have been Making Cool Stuff, though. It's like slightly close.
Yeah.
Are you going to any of the 1200 store championships in LA?
It's like they're all during times that I'm going to be out of town, so I'm hoping to hit at least like two or three. But
Okay, wait. They're like
yeah,
every weekend for the next 9 years. You're out of town every weekend?
yeah, it's a busy summer for me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Are you going tomorrow?
Uh, is there one tomorrow?
There's one tomorrow. It sounds like you're not going. It's in
Is that the
Oceanside.
one? Is the one tomorrow the one that is only 16 people?
I don't think so. It's in Oceanside.
Oh, it's in Oceanside? Then no, that's the reason why I'm not going tomorrow.
Okay. You
Because that is
can't
not
be
in the
bothered
LA
to
area.
drive an extra hour. Okay, that's cool. That's cool, Mike. I'm not going either, so I probably shouldn't give you a hard time. That's fine.
It's not. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Like
It's a long
2
ways.
hours.
It's a long ways. I'm not going either. I too am
Yeah.
hoping to get to some. Last thing, the Galactic Qualifier next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, I've been doing a little research, and if I want to go for one day, right? There's like a really good chance I could go Thursday and no other days. It would cost me $70 to walk in the door. It would
Yep.
cost me, I'm going to guess, about $20 to park. And then it's going to be $25 per draft, which I would hope to do at least 4. So I'm looking at like $250 to draft 3 or 4 times. Mike, that's insane.
Yeah, the return on investment for this one is not ideal.
Yeah, this is not one where you go to grind Yodas because you're going to lose money in that
Yeah,
enterprise.
exactly.
I mean, if you could go all 4 days, maybe. You're still spending a lot of money on parking, though. But maybe.
Mhm,
But I definitely cannot. I could maybe go Thursday. That's it. So I'm torn. What do you think, Mike? Try to talk me into it right now. Why should I go?
I'm going.
Wow, that was compelling.
I'm saying that is compelling.
Okay. The problem for me is it's a trilogies event, and
Yeah.
I actually like trilogies. I like it a lot better than standard, to be honest. But I haven't
So
practiced it at all.
I think well, okay, but I like by what you just said.
Yeah.
I like trilogies. I think I like it better than standard.
Yeah.
I think that's a reason why you should go. And the fact that you haven't had practice in it, it doesn't matter. You're
All right. Let me throw this out to my audience.
all right.
By Thursday, I need to be proficient in trilogies. So I need to line up some opponents for next week, early in the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, during the day, about 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific. If you have time, hit me up. Let me know. We'll play some trilogies. Get me into game shape. I'm not going to pay $70 and parking to go 0-3. Oh, I guess it's 0-2, right? And then you're
0-2.
eliminated.
Yep.
Yeah, then the Smugglers Den is over. There's no way I'm going to get on the next week and be like, I went 0-2 at the Trilogies event. I'm great. No, I can't do that.
I mean, like, you know how to play Destiny. There's a 0% chance of that happening.
I don't know who's going to be at this thing on a Thursday, paying
It's
an arm and a leg.
me
It might just
and
be
you.
you and I. It's a round robin.
In which case we'll each go like 1-1. No, we'll each have gone 1-2, I guess.
Yeah, we both get nothing. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. No, seriously, though, what do you
It's gonna be great.
predict the turnout for this Trilogies event? How many people?
On Thursday exactly,
Yes.
less than 10.
Yes, me too. I'm going to say 6.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That feels right.
6? How does this even work? Can you even get to the...
Can one person go 6-0?
I don't
Like,
think so. No.
yeah. No.
No. I don't know how this works, Mike. Oh, boy, Mike. You're talking me out of this really, really fast. But, Mike, there's one reason why I might do it.
Why?
You might not know this. There's a new set coming out, and it drops that day.
That is true.
That's pretty enticing. Okay.
Yes.
Real quick,
Yes.
about myself, what I've been up to in the last several months. All right, I'm going to make it a mission, Mike. Until a week
Let's hear
ago, I hadn't played a game of Destiny since February. Or earlier, whenever our regional was. I don't know.
Yeah, it was February 1st.
Oh, my God.
So the earliest possible point in February.
So I had not played. That's almost 5 months, isn't it?
It's a lot.
Wow. And the crazy thing is, no new set had dropped in that time. That's the crazy part. So I hadn't played in about
That's why
5 months.
you hadn't played.
I played a couple games with you. You whooped me in 3 games. I'm going to say, though, some God rolls, some unlucky Kylo pulls. I'm just going to say that.
Sure.
And then I played a new deck that I made that I actually put on YouTube if you're interested in seeing it. The Mandalorian Super Trooper, whatever that dude's name is. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna call it Super Trooper now. So
yeah, I think that's the name of the deck. The Super Troopers, right? That's the obvious name of the deck. So,
100%.
all right. I played the Super Troopers deck. It was really fun. It's 3 Mandalorian Super Troopers. I played that a couple times, and I played it a couple times against you. So I've actually played now, Mike. Let me do the math. I'm not a math guy. 7.
Good.
I've played 7 games now since February 1st, and had fun in all 7 of them.
I love it.
So
amazing.
Having a good time. Looking forward to the new set. And I think, Mike, we should take a look at this new set. What do you think?
I agree.
All right. Let's start with, boy, when we recorded this the first time around, pulling back the curtain here. All these spoilers were brand new several days ago, but I still think they're new enough. What do you think? Should we talk about Snoke?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not? Why not? He's not new at all anymore.
I still haven't played with him yet, so he's still very new to me.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about Snoke then. What do we think of Snoke? We've got basically an 11-13 with a pretty high health total of 11, blue character with a cool ability. Deal 1 damage to another one of your characters to resolve one of its character dice, increasing its value by 2. So my question for you, Mike, is this a tier 1 character, or is this just a really cool character?
That is an excellent question. I think that he'll find his way into tier 1 somehow. I don't know if it's like the way that people are playing him like right now, but there's just too much value there to not be in some tier 1 deck, right? Because like the power action is giving you basically an additional die that's 2 of anything every single round that you have your other character alive. Yeah. And his die is really good, and they're valuing it at 2 points. Seems kind of insane to me. Yep. So I think he's awesome personally. Okay.
I agree. I think he's awesome. My fear though is exactly what you said, that once he dies, his text is very specific. It's another one of your character's character dice, right? So it's like once he dies, once your other character dies, if you play this in a 2-character setup, he is not good anymore. Maybe if you get a couple like 3-cost upgrades on him, then he becomes good because he has that 2 focus, and that's good. But I wonder if it feels like everyone's like, duh, Snoke, Kylo Ren, obvious choice. And I look at that and I say, is Anakin just better? Like, then when Kylo dies, Anakin still wrecks face for a while? Like, right. I don't know. I'm curious about that. What do you think about that 13-17 Snoke being the answer over Anakin?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like the 13-point elite slot in villain has been a very hard slot for them to balance, as we've seen. So like I don't know. I think that in specifically Kylo Anakin, and I think it depends on how you build the deck too. Like it's obviously better to finish a game with Anakin, right? So I wonder if like Snoke is best in a deck that forces your opponent to kill Snoke first, and I have no idea what that would even look like.
Wow, I don't think that exists, Mike. That would be amazing.
I mean, I don't think it does at the moment, but that seems like a good starting point.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, you message me when you figure that deck out for sure. You're like, okay, it's Snoke 1 Stormtrooper. I'm cutting it there. Just 20 points. And I'm like, I'm going to kill Snoke first. And then you message me like, see, Tanya, I told you.
Tier 1.
Do it. Actually, though, Snoke 2 Stormtroopers plus the profitable connections. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
There you go.
Sounds terrible to me, but it's 4 dice, 3 characters. No, I actually think Snoke is going to be best in a 3-character deck, though. I think that's where he's going to find his spot. I don't know what that would be. I mean, if you only go 1 die, you get 19, which is a lot. I agree, though, that his die is worth more than 2, so I would want him at 13 as well. I think he's going to be good. I think what's going to happen is Snoke is going to win some events, but I don't think he's going to be tier 1. I think some really smart people are going to have some surprising decks with him and win. And then people will adjust and realize that like he's a little too gimmicky. You just kill the other characters as fast as possible and you're okay. But I think he's going to be good. I think he's worth getting. I made a video about like my top 6 most expensive cards in the new set. He's certainly in there. People will want him. He's good. My gut says not tier 1, but I think like tier 1.5 and a ton of cool tier 2 decks. Like he's going to be that character that just every day there's going to be a new deck on Card Game D or SWDB where they're going to be like, here you go, I made my new Snoke deck. It's undefeated. It went 18-0 on TPS against people who never played the game before. So it's going to be one of those. That's what I think.
I could see that.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Everyone's favorite, well, maybe their second favorite female Star Wars character after Ahsoka. I don't know. But Leia's out. And I think Leia's pretty exciting. A 12-15 at 11 health, a 1 discard side, a 2 discard side, and this sick ability, remove one of your character dice to discards from the top of a deck equal to the value showing on that die. Mike, we're finally there. Every single character is now a mill character. Boom, best card in the set.
Oh yeah.
What?
I am very excited to see Leia in this set, and like she's definitely my type of character. Yeah. I hope that that she's not so good that it turns Mill into like the deck that everybody's playing. Wow. And I kind of don't think that that's the case. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I like to me. I kind of want to just ignore her power action and just play her with like Yoda and go like 4 speed into activate and discard 4 cards from my opponent's hand. So there's also this card in Way of the Force called Grand Entrance, I think is what it's called. And it costs 1 and it says activate one of your characters and then reroll any number of its character and upgrade dice. And then reroll any number of its character and upgrade dice. So you like 4 speed or swiftness or something like that into that, and you have 3 shots at hitting that double discard.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting.
Seems pretty nasty.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So I'm looking forward to play around with something like that. The other obvious pairing is in something with like 3 characters, and then you can play like Hired Gun, and then use his like 3 side to discard 3 cards off the top of your opponent's deck.
Yeah.
But that just seems slightly worse to me.
Yeah, to me that sounds like the way to go. The only problem is that particular build with Hired Gun, once Leia dies, I don't see how you win. Like I feel like you need, instead of Hired Gun, you need Leia and 2 mill characters, maybe something like the Jedha Partisan or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like the Partisans have the 2 indirect side, which is a decent target for her power action anyway.
Yep. So you've got that, and they also have a mill side. So it's like once she dies, they're not just dead in the water. Yeah, I think she's really interesting. I think she's not good enough to make mill amazing. Like, I feel like if she was in any earlier set, she would be better, right? But it's like, as each set comes out, we get more and more efficient with these I'm just going to kill you decks. And I feel like we're reaching this level of ultra efficiency where amazing cards were like, that's all right. And once that gets to be the case, I feel like she is going to be good. She will be the heart of several mill decks. I think for this set and the next set as well, mill is going to stick around. Tier 1.5, I'm hoping tier 2 actually, and I think it probably will be. What makes me afraid is after rotation, when we only have 4 sets for that one moment that she might pop up.
Right.
And in draft, oh dear lord.
Oh yeah, like, draft she's just
draft.
Just draft her and you win.
Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter the other cards you get. You just draft Leia, and draft a little bit of removal, and then you win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead and do that. All right. Yeah, I'm not excited about Leia, but I will be happy to trade you my Leia, Mike, for full value.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the guy that everyone seems to be really excited about, and my heart is very excited about, but my head says he's terrible, and that's DJ. So
Yeah.
we're looking at 13, 16, 11 health. Who cares about his dice? After you remove one or more of your opponent's dice, you may deal 1 indirect damage to that opponent for each die you just removed. Holy cow, they rolled 6 blanks. You feel your anger. You are the greatest player who ever lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? 6 damage, all your dice are gone.
Yeah, I mean, like, if that's how it works every time.
And you claim DJ's tier 1 and you play it at All-Star Championships.
And then you go 0-5 at all of them.
Then you sell your collection because the game.
Yeah, I don't like his die for 16 points.
Yeah, that's the problem for me with him as well. I mean, it's not terrible, right? It's two guns, and then a resource and 2 worthless sides.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 guns isn't that bad. If it was 2
Not
guns,
horrible.
2 guns, 1 gun, would that change your mind at all?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like if it was 1 gun instead of the 1 disrupt.
Yeah, I feel like it would change my mind slightly. Like, then I'd look at him and be like, I could pair him with some big plus weapons and get a 50-50 shot. I don't have to be all in on his ability. Right now, I feel like this dude is all in on his ability. And for 16, like, if he was a 10-13, I would love this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I would play him for sure, whether he was good or not. But at 13-16, he's your main guy. Really? He's terrible for an anchor for a deck.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like when you compare his die to Boba at the same cost and the same health, I like if you're trying to kill your opponent, I think Boba is like the clear choice. And like I don't think you ever play him at 13 points because like the other options that you have at 13 or even at 12 with like Taliesin are so much better.
Yeah, 2 Taliesin dice or 1 DJ die.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I could see him. I'm not saying I could see him. I'm saying, what if you went 1 die DJ and a 17 elite, really awesome character, right? So they have to kill that guy first. But you're playing so much removal because you want to activate DJ that it makes it really hard to kill your 17 cost character. When they do finally kill him, you're in this endgame scenario where then you can play block or whatever the new one is, the 3 cost one, and yank all their dice off the board and kill them that way. Is there any world in which that is reasonable?
No. But I'm sure people will try, and I'm sure it'll work sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, my problem with DJ is that people are going to build it to where they play block, dodge, you know, they play all of those cards, and they're all extremely situational. So half of your deck is going to be dead in half of your matchups. That's just not a way to build a deck.
Yes, I agree. I was talking to somebody about this, and they're like, it's easy. You play 2 in the crosshairs. You play the whole suite of the other cards. There's 10 right there. And I'm like, wait, stop. So you want to build a whole deck full of 2 and 3 cost removal, and you think you're going to win? You are not going to win. That has never been the case, and DJ is not good enough to make that the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think he might be trash tier. Like, you know, one of those legendaries that when you open it, you groan and try to find some sucker to pawn him off on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an equivalent legendary that people like were fawning over in another set that turned out to just be like absolutely nowhere. Let's hear it.
The council card with Mace's face on it.
Yeah, Master of the Council.
Yeah, I remember I spoiled that, and I was like, this card is terrible. But people are going to like it. People are like, you are an idiot. This card is amazing. I'm like, no, this card is not amazing. Oh, another one, Mace. Remember how good people thought Mace was going to be?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And remember I said he has no ability, so he's garbage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's not go down memory lane. But yeah, I don't think DJ is good, unfortunately. Are there any new characters that are exciting that just got spoiled today that I don't know who they are? Or do we have
there's one. No, there's a non-unique that I think is really interesting, and I'm very curious to see if it finds a spot. And that's the I think it's called the Trusted Informant.
Okay.
and it's a 9 cost. I think we're trying to find it right now. I think it's a
Yeah.
9 cost, 9 health.
Here he is.
Hero character.
Yep.
And its ability is really sweet. It's after you activate this
Whoa.
character, you can look at your opponent's hand. Like
Wow.
that's extremely powerful.
Wow. That
And
is
the die is not
really
bad.
cool ability.
So
Yeah.
to like
I-
hero at 9 though. What are you playing over this?
That's the problem. 9
Ayla
is
at
an
1 die? I
awkward
don't know.
spot for heroes, right? It's usually 8.
Mm-hmm.
9 is that, like, is this guy better than a Jedi Padawan in the right deck? Probably not.
Mhm.
Is it better than a 1-die Ayla? Well, nothing is. Yeah. I don't think he's playable, actually, for his numbers, but I love that ability.
Yeah, the ability is like so skill rewarding that I think that it could find a home somewhere. Like every single round, like okay, nobody is going after him first, right?
No.
And every single round of the game, you get to scope out your opponent's hand for removal and stuff like that.
You know what card I would like to see?
Hmm.
A Jawa Scavenger card that has this ability on a 6.
That
Its
would be-
die is just garbage. It's like 2 blanks, a +1 resource, a 1 gun, something else, and you're really just playing him for this ability. And then it allows you, like, do you want to take 6 points to put this
And
ability
sink it in
together?
that ability. Yeah.
And maybe not. And then, I mean, you could always, couple his dice with stuff like he doesn't like you. Maybe you play whatever the card is that you can exhaust him to take dice off. And, like, your whole point is, I'm not using the scavenger's die. I'm just using the ability. I think that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
That
a
could be
9 cost
interesting
guy?
character.
I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I feel like he might be bad. I do like the ability, but...
Yeah, I mean,
think he's
me
bad.
personally, I'm playing Elite Jar Jar over this every time, but I'm also a
Yeah.
crazy person.
Well, yeah, but Elite Jar Jar is better than him, so... Right. All right, you know who we didn't talk about that we should is also the new Jabba
Who?
the Hutt.
Oh, that's right.
We got a new Jabba, 12, 16, 12 health. That's not bad.
Well, 12 health's a lot.
The rest of him is terrible.
Yeah.
Let's see. Special. Deal indirect damage to an opponent equal to the number of dice showing a special, including this die. So, Mike, all you got to do is play your crystal ball, your data pad, this, whatever other stuff you play with specials, and then it's like 8 a turn and you win.
Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah,
I feel like he's either
he's not
broken or
good.
terrible.
No, he's not good.
No, I agree. I think he's terrible. But I'm saying,
But yeah,
a
I
card
know
like
what you
this, there's
mean.
no room for a middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a designer, unless you're terrible at your job, you look at that and go, yeah, we can't make him broken. That would not be fun. Special chaining for days, and you get to do the damage off of it. Him with
Yeah.
Yoda. Boy, if he could be with Yoda, that's
Would that be good?
interesting. What's up?
Well, like, would that even be good though?
I kind of think it would. You have a decent chance of rolling like 3 specials every turn just off that.
Mm-hmm.
And then with all the special chaining you can do, maybe you could play cunning on him and some other special stuff and just I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, like, okay, it's possible, but it's like if you just consider both of those as like a 3 and a 2 indirect side.
Oh, that's
like-
right. It's indirect.
You know what I mean?
It's indirect. Oh, God. He's even worse. I hope he's amazing. We just look so stupid.
I know,
People
me
are like,
too. Me
you
too.
are absolutely not remembering all the dice with special. My whole deck is just specials, you idiot. Job's the best. That would be great, actually. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
the upside's there, I guess. If you get enough dice out and they all actually hit special.
yeah. Yeah. The
When
problem
does
is they
that
may
happen?
just kill him before you get there.
Yeah.
That's the real downside, right? All right, let's talk about archetypes then. Those are sort of the newest characters, the most exciting stuff. Are you seeing any archetypes that are jumping out to you that you're excited about, that maybe they're not going to be tier 1, maybe they are? What do you think?
Mm, I've I've been playing around with Dooku,
Mm.
and I think that there's like a Dooku reset type deck out there that will be
Dooku reset.
at least somewhat good. So I've tried him with Sienna, where I play leadership and Price of Failure, um, and like just the fact that you can guarantee you hit a damage side when uh, you activate him after he readies. Um, like the threat of that is super high. So I've been experimenting with different things. The current deck that I'm on is Dooku with a Rebel Traitor and the Calling in Favors plot, so that I can
Mm.
play like 3 cost Dark Ritual and Rise Again. Um, and then I can like bring back the traitor after I've Price of Failure, and then Price of Failure him again, and do janky stuff like that. It's
Wow.
been surprisingly successful so far, but I
Huh.
need to play more games against some more established decks to
Yeah,
really figure it
I
out.
think we should play because this sounds horrible. But if it's good, goodness, that deck would be so fun and amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, oh, you
it's
killed
been a blast
Dooku
so far.
again? Ha 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 ha! That was funny. He's back. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm excited about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'll talk real quick about the main deck I've been using so far, and that is the Super Troopers deck with the 3 Mandalorian Super Commandos. Wow, it's the Super Trooper
hmm
deck now. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
He is a
Super
trooper
Troopers.
trait. But when I looked at it, this was how my brain worked. I'm like, okay, I have 3 commandos. There's a decent chance you don't kill one turn one, and if you don't, that's 6 free damage. That is 6 free damage wherever I want. I kind of
Yep.
assumed when I glanced at him that it would be indirect, and when I actually looked at him for real, I was like, this is kind of busted. It's 6 turn 1 and 2. Turn 3 is probably 2 more. That's probably 8. I mean, this feels pretty good. And then you run the chance cube. You activate, pull it back, activate, pull it back. You only need 1 equipment to do this.
hmm
So,
Yeah,
and wait, and I get to run it with profitable connection. So I start with $3. Oh my goodness.
so good. I mean, like when I played it again, when you played it against me, like the very like you dropped it on the table, and then you played like some kind of armor card, and I was just like, oh, I get it. This is so sweet, and like the idea of it
Yeah.
is awesome. I love it. I feel like you kind of miss out by not having a resource side on any of your dice. Starting with profitable connections though, like really helps that.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't find myself to have too many money problems, but again, I've tailored the deck around it. Like it's
right.
all 0 cost upgrades and 2 cost weapons, and then it's all 0 cost removal with entangle. And so it's like I'm always just kind of pulling the one main one away. I think what it's going to be vulnerable to is if it gets into late game spots or it gets into spots where your opponent has a dude with 3 dice or 3 upgrades, rolls out 5 dice, and God rolls you. I
hmm
think it loses. I mean, I
hmm
have the Ewok. What's the Ewok card? Sound the alarm. I've got
Oh, right,
that
right.
to help with that scenario, but it does a lot better if you roll 2 decent dice and then I entangle them and kind of slow you down that way.
Yeah. One thing that I do really like about it is that like the damage that you're dealing is just like in increments of like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder for you to get blown out by like mass removal
That's true.
and by like force illusion and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I found that they never roll their damage sides, so that's cool. Like I don't have to worry about that.
Easy.
But like in our games,
So so in
I would get a couple weapons down, and
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Um, so how do you feel about the Mandalorian Vam braces in that deck? Which
Um, I'll probably play 1, maybe 2. The problem with this deck is 1 is a lot. Like you said, there's no
yeah,
resource side. So what I will not be able to do with it is bounce them. To me,
right.
that just does not work in this deck. It looks like it would, but resources are tight if you just throw them away. Like you need to actually use them for efficient stuff.
Right.
Especially since we have, I believe the card is called Ace in the Hole, where you chuck your upgrades and do that much damage. So you're not going to want to do that with something like Vambrances, where if you go plastoid armor and a chance cube and a holster, and then you're like, okay, I did that over 3 turns and did 3 damage, and now I discard this and do 3 more. I think that's more efficient than paying 3 for a terrible upgrade. Or not a terrible upgrade, but not a good upgrade.
That's fair. Yeah, and I like Arm to the Teeth in that deck is obviously really, really sick with the amount of zero cost upgrades that you got in there.
Yeah. I think it's solid. I'm not saying I think it's tier 1. I think it's probably a tier 2 deck. But against low health decks, I think it wins. So like any deck that tries, like maybe a Snoke Kylo deck that tries to sneak it out with, a low health total, I think it might be able to win that matchup.
Yeah, and 27 health, like 3 9 health characters to deal with is a lot.
Yeah, all with shields built into them.
Yeah.
And playing a plastoid armor and the 1-cost one that's like a Force Illusion. So it's often like a 35 health deck is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, which
and
is
it's pinging you, so
a
you
lot
can't
to get through.
You can't just drag it out because every turn it's that damage. So Mill kills it though. Mill's bad for it.
Yeah, seems like it would be.
Mill's bad for it. Wants to move a little slow. It's funny because it moves kind of quick, but if you disrupt its hand early where it can't then ping you, I think that's where it really struggles.
Yeah, and I would imagine against a deck that can heavily shield up, all that ping damage is kind of wasted.
Exactly, and I feel like that's what's going to hold it off from being in the upper tier is if it were to become a top tier deck, I think it's pretty easy to build to beat it. I think this thrives more as like this dark horse deck where you're like, I'm not going to build my deck to beat the Super Trooper deck, and then you're like, ha ha! Super Troopers are here! I think it's more effective in that regard.
Yeah, totally fair.
All right, let's talk real quick about Plo Koon. Is he a real archetype? Is he not a real archetype?
I think Plo Koon with Padawans is a real archetype. I'm not sure about anything else. It's just so much money.
Yeah. I struggle. I think either Plo Koon plus 2 Padawans is the realest of archetypes, or it's garbage. I can't tell. Because his health is so low, and the Padawan's health are so low, that a deck that does a lot of damage is probably picking off a Padawan turn 1 turn 2. Plo his die is not that great. So then it's like, what upgrades were you able to get? And I gotta say though, Ezra's lightsaber may be the lifesaver for this deck.
Yeah, that card is crazy good.
Yeah, having a 2-cost redeploy, so that turn 1 you put that down, along with your Shoto and maybe your Ancient or whatever you're playing. 3 weapons turn 1, Mike. That sounds insane.
It's a lot.
It's so
it's doable.
A lot. Oh, you're like, yeah, no, I have a 6-die star. No, a 7-die star.
7-die, yeah.
7-die star. That's not too bad, Mike.
You're basically starting the game with 6 resources.
I'm tempted, and I know this has got to be wrong, but it feels like Bestow in this deck because Plo reduces by 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it's overkill and it wouldn't work, but like you play it on Plo, you play a weapon on Plo, and then you attack with him, then you get to move it, and then the next turn you still get the free one. Like, I don't know. Seems interesting.
I mean, like you're basically playing Bestow for free and then gaining another resource. Is that what it is? It seems crazy.
I know. I mean, is this the deck that wants Funeral Pyre also and just go all in on this?
Yeah, like you can also play like Hone Skills if you have enough redeploy, and then just at the end of the game swing in with 7 dice on 1 character.
That seems reasonable. Wait, what's Hone Skills again? Is that the one that lets you have an extra?
Yeah, your character can have another upgrade for free.
I think that deck wants Hone Skills. Definitely. Oh, the deck just got better. Yeah, you can play 2 Hone Skills and have 2 extra weapons? Ooh, boy. Okay. Yeah. All right, Mike, I'm
let's make it happen.
I'm more excited. I'm more excited now. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I'll probably build this and put it online in the next couple days. We'll see. Awesome. All right. What's another archetype that you're excited about?
I think that some kind of vehicle deck. I don't know if it's the ones that have been, shown to be good in the last set, but I'm looking forward to building like a Rex-based vehicle deck, where you can, play Weapons Factory Alpha, and then when you activate Rex, guarantee that you have that available to use. So maybe like Rex clone, like yellow character or something like that. But I mean, you kind of want Rose in a hero vehicle deck, like kind of badly. So maybe you go Rose somewhere in there instead of one of those. Maybe like, yeah, Elite Rose with Rex or something like that. But this Resistance Crate Speeder, which is a card that we've just seen over the past couple days, is nuts. So it's a 2-cost vehicle, and it's got like a one range, 2 range, 2 indirect, 1 shield, 1 resource blank, and then before you resolve this die, if the support has no damage on it, you can place 1 damage on it to increase its value by 1.
Wow.
So the first time you resolve it, it's a 2/3/3/2/2 for 2 resources, which seems way above the curve. And if you have Rose, removing the damage every round, you are, pretty much set with this thing. Like, this is better than any of the other 2-cost vehicles in the game.
Is this one of the first vehicles we've seen that just goes into decks? I thought that was going to be Kylo Starfighter, but the special being indirect nixed that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2, 3. This is crazy for only 2.
This is nuts. Yeah. I mean, and like even if you're not playing Rose and you can only do that once, like that's still huge.
Yeah, that seems really strong to me. I'm really interested in that. If that just goes in, I don't know, like
just any red deck.
Yeah, like a Rex clones deck, and then you throw that in just for the hell of it, because why wouldn't you? It's bonkers.
Why not?
That's really interesting. Have we seen, with all the new battlefields, I haven't seen them all because I haven't had a chance to go through everything, are there any other passive effects that are going to work with Rex? That are going to be good with Rex, I guess I should say.
I haven't really seen all the battlefields either, so I'm not sure. I know that it's like the one that people have already kind of looked at is Bendu's Lair, and I'm kind of dubious of that. I don't think that that's exactly where you want to be, even though that die is great. Your opponent just activates that first, and then you roll in Rex. Like, doesn't seem like the best use of that battlefield. But yeah, I'm not sure. I would have to look at the battlefields, and I'm going to try to scroll through them now.
Yeah, it's funny. I asked you that question intentionally, assuming you wouldn't know the answer.
Did you know the answer?
And I think Bendu's is the only one that has a passive, actually. Unless I'm wrong. Yeah, I just went through all the cards, so I'm pretty sure it's just Bendu, which is a little unfortunate, but maybe good, because otherwise, like, that's kind of insane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there aren't that many battlefields in this set, right? There's only like 4 or something.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. I'm not sure if I like that or dislike that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave Amanda Price. Her name is not Amanda, is it? I don't know why I said that. Prices for you. Which, by the way, I'm a huge Rebels fan. I've seen every episode. I do not know why I just called her Amanda. But yeah, I wonder if there is going to be a vehicle deck as well, and I wonder if I'm just going to go ahead and bring him up. Firmus Piet, and with him is my other not dark horse, but other awesome money producing character, Anakin Skywalker. The fact that these characters are cheap and make a lot of money, is that going to be enough to propel a vehicle deck? For light side, clearly, yeah, they have a million great vehicles. Dark side, we just haven't seen a good vehicle deck, and I really love Piet. He just seems so good. You play him with 2 other non-uniques. Turn 1, you're guaranteed to get several resources just by turning the stuff and then buying vehicles. It seems really strong. Even more so with Anakin. I feel like Anakin, I don't know, do I want to say something crazy like best card in the set is Anakin, Mike? That feels like that feels like that would be my last podcast because people would burn down my house. But like, you roll out Anakin, you get 2 resources, you play R2D2 or 3PO, So then you get that resource back, and then next turn you get 3 resources. You get 5 resources over 2 turns with Anakin. This is madness, Mike. We have not seen a character like this before.
Yeah. Like that 50% chance to hit a resource. Like, yeah, we've never seen that before. And I mean, I just think people don't know what to do with it yet. It has to be good, right? And for it being only 10 points, like, there's no way he doesn't see play.
I'm going to say something crazy, like truly legit nuts.
All right, let's hear it.
Is he better than Ayla Secura? Like, I know that's the craziest statement I've ever made because I've been saying for, 8 months now or whatever, maybe longer, that Ayla needs to be nerfed.
Yeah.
The difference is I don't think he needs to be nerfed. Although, that was nerfed already, right? Remember we had Unkar Thrawn and it just made too much money. I think Anakin is Unkar Thrawn in one guy.
In one guy?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's the scenario. You play a couple droids, and you play logistics, and over 2 turns, you have like $8. Do they really have to kill Anakin first in a deck with Anakin?
Oh, yeah.
I think the answer is yes.
If you can create a deck where your opponent has to kill Anakin first, you're in a good spot, I think.
Win, right?
Yeah,
just
right?
win with that deck. I don't know, man. I am real excited for this Anakin. I don't know if he's going to be the best card, but he is going to be a card that, if there is a top-tier vehicle deck, if there is a top-tier deck that wants money, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if the pieces around him are there, but he's there.
He's just so good at what he does, at being that support character that just sits there and makes you money.
Yeah.
And his ability to turn a droid die to any side, or is it droid or pod racer die to any side?
It's just droid because pod racers don't exist.
Okay, so turning a droid die to any side is super useful.
Is there any pod racer that's decent if you can choose the side it's on?
No.
There has to be one side on one pod racer that's decent. Come on, Mike.
There's the 1-cost pod racer that is gray that we've now seen. But it says after this die rolls a blank, return it to your hand. Which means that if it rolls a blank, Anakin can no longer turn it to any side because it's in your hand now.
Oh my goodness.
So
does it have 2 blanks?
No. It has 1 blank.
What's the name of this thing?
It's just pod racer.
Okay. And is it in the new cards that got spoiled?
Yeah. So it's a 1 indirect, 2 indirect, 1 disrupt, 1 discard,
Then
1
no.
shield. It's garbage. Doesn't have a resource side.
I think the problem is there's not a side on it that Anakin would.
Yeah, that he cares about.
Yeah, like if there was at least a resource, then that might be worth it for 1, right?
Yeah,
Like 1, you invest the 1, and now for the rest of the game you're getting resources from it. So I think that's probably a no. But I think you just go the droid route. But then the question becomes like, how much do you balance droids versus vehicles if you're building a vehicle deck? The cool thing is you have C-3PO already. He's amazing. You have R2-D2, who's amazing.
Yeah, like those guys already go into your vehicle deck most of the time. So
I don't know. Like, it's too bad like 000 can't be in your deck or something.
Oh man, cool. that would be awesome.
All right, I'm just saying, Anakin's awesome. He is awesome, which is hilarious because it's little kid Anakin. It's like the one Anakin everybody hates more than anything. You need an Anakin Jar Jar deck just to make your opponent be like, screw this. The franchise is dead to me now. Actually, we could probably make an episode 1 deck. That's the deck, right?
Anakin Jar Jar Rose, like 6 dice.
No, it has to be an episode 1 deck. You're missing out here.
All right, Anakin Jar Jar Qui-Gon.
Can that work? Is there...
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, with like 1 die for a guy.
You can play Elite Anakin and then 1 die Jar Jar, 1 die Qui-Gon.
Yeah, that sounds like a deck you might enjoy.
What are you trying to say, Tiny?
Nothing. Nothing. You play crazy decks. Okay. What about you? Any other sort of archetypes you're looking at that are exciting you?
Yeah, so we mentioned 000 a couple times here, but we haven't really talked about him, and I'm wondering if this makes Afra a real deck now.
Ooh, that'd be so cool.
So he's got no blanks, It's a one melee, two melee for a resource, one disrupt, one discard, one resource. And then
Mm-hmm.
after you deal indirect damage to yourself, you can deal one indirect damage to your opponent. So all the things that you play in your Afro deck already to deal one indirect damage to yourself to draw a card also now
Mm-hmm.
deals damage to your opponent, which sounds so sweet.
Yeah. What's the other 000 and BT?
Yeah, BT1.
And he's 2 cost, right? And he's pretty amazing.
He's yeah. Yeah, he's 2 cost. His die is extremely aggressive, and it's like whenever you activate it, you deal one indirect damage to yourself and one indirect to your opponent. So now you're
Yeah.
dealing one to yourself, drawing a card, and dealing two to your opponent,
Yeah.
which is a lot.
Phew. Yeah. And what's cool is these droids are fun. Like if you've read the comics at all,
Yeah.
they're this is gonna sound sacrilegious. They're almost a better version of 3PO and R2, to be honest. Like R2 with a bloodthirsty mentality. They're pretty great. Yeah, I mean, I think Afro plus droids is at least at a bare minimum going to be crazy popular. Who are we going with this? Is this Tarkin, or do you think we've got someone better to go with her?
So I've been thinking about like a sort of hybrid droid vehicle deck for her, specifically because of the Hailfire droid tank, which is a legendary that we have just now seen in the past couple days. And so if you have the battlefield and you're playing Weapons Factory Alpha, this card is a droid and a vehicle, so it costs -1 from Afra and -1 from the Weapons Factory Alpha. So this thing costs
Whoa,
2,
Jesus.
which is nuts.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and so after you play a vehicle, including this one, you deal one indirect damage to your opponent, and then after you play a droid, including this one, you can activate it. So you
Wow.
just can do it. Just seems really cool. And this is another die that has no blanks, and like all the sides except one are like really strong.
If
So
it's too bad it doesn't say after you play a vehicle or droid, you may deal 1 indirect damage.
yeah, I wish that it was swapped actually, because you're going
Yeah.
to be playing more droids in that deck.
Yeah.
But
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting. That could be really real. An Afra deck would be exciting. So who are you playing with Afra then? Who are you pairing with her?
That's a good question. She's 14 elite, right?
Yeah. Which
and
looked like too much before, but now not so much.
yeah, seriously. So I mean, you might even just go Tarkin at that point. There's not a whole lot of reason not to just stick with Tarkin if you're even if you are trying to go for vehicles, because you can play things so cheap with her ability.
Yeah.
Like you can just get those dice out into the pool for cheaper than you normally would be able to. You have other options, like you can play like even like 11 cost her with like 12-point Piet with like a stormtrooper. I don't know. You can do some weird stuff like that.
Yeah. I kind of like that. Make it a little less enticing to kill her. And then when they do, what about instead of Piet, you go 11? I don't know, maybe like Balatique, someone who has maybe Sienna Ray, someone
who's
who
a
has
little bit more of a target.
yeah, someone who has some dice that are going to do some work,
Mm-hmm.
and then a 9 unique. So you have 3 guys.
Yeah, and then like an 8-point non-unique, so that you can have something a little hardier than a trooper.
Yeah, exactly. Just some
Yeah.
stuff with some health, and then you're making these cheap droids, cheap vehicles. It doesn't actually matter near the end of the game if they've killed Afra or not. And then 10 health for 11 sounds pretty solid. You're looking at like around a 28 health deck. I don't know. You know what
I like
that
it.
really entails? Lets you go free for all. Lets you go however many yellow dice you have in the pool do damage. Like that's
Yeah.
how you might be able to close the game in a serious, stunning way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't think Afra is required to be elite. Like her die is good, but I don't think it's anything, like
I'm gonna say her
worth.
die's not great. That's always
No,
held her
it's
back
not
for
great.
me. Like I think
and-
maybe the way to play her is 11.
Yeah, I mean, it very well maybe. Like her abilities are what you want out of her anyway. So
Yeah, I'm making a note right now.
that makes sense to me.
Hold on, I need a moment here, Mike. Build and video Afrodex.
Yes.
All of them. All of the Afrodex. Okay. I made my note, Mike. We're ready.
We're good to go.
Okay. Let's talk about a couple of the best cards then from the set as we're running out of time here.
Okay.
I'm going to start with what I said in my video is going to be the most expensive card in the set. And I don't think it will be day one. But that's Ezra's lightsaber. The fact that it is a 2-cost redeploy blue melee weapon, there are none others in existence.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Shoto and Ancient rotate out, this is going to be a 2 of in every deck. And I think it's probably going to be a 1 of now, so it'll stick at like $30. But this could be the one that goes to like 45 or something.
Yeah, I totally see it. It like the thing that would be holding it back from being sort of like the, like the $45 card that like a Force Speed or a Ancient Lightsaber is that it's unique. So you can only play one at a time. So like most decks are only going to want one, especially because like you said, now you also have Shoto and Ancient to fill up your 2-drop slot. But also the fact that it's a hero card, and that only half of your decks are going to want it. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually a good point, since villains have been the best at like every moment until just recently.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just like the demand's going to be lower because not everybody is going to want to play heroes.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it will never go that high because it is only hero. I think I forgot about that for a moment.
We'll see. I still think it's insane. I honestly do think it's going to be one of the most expensive cards in the set.
I definitely think you should hold on to it. What about you? You didn't mention Price yet, man. I've been waiting for you to just go on your rant about her the whole time.
Well, I went on for so long about it last time we did this.
Yeah, the Lost podcast.
But yeah, man, I like Price is definitely like in my top like 3 favorite characters to play right now. I think people are overvaluing her a little bit. I think that she has a little bit of the Hondo effect, where people just don't know how to play around her quite yet, and when they do, like she's still good, but isn't like god tier. But the decks that I built with her are pretty sweet.
I'm not sure I agree with that. I think the difference with Hondo is he has an easy way to play around him, whereas Price doesn't. She turns any one of your dice to any side you want with no limitations. Sure, they claimed early to, quote, play around her and gave up some dice, and you still get to turn to whatever side you want. Yeah, they might have removal, but then that's the removal they had. Like
that just turns it into a focus, right? Like
yeah.
I don't know. Like if you can play against Price, prioritize claiming the battlefield and making sure that you have it, like that's the way to do it, I think. And it is a significant like detriment to a Price deck to not have the battlefield.
I agree, but the fact that she's only 10-13 in this good.
Yeah. I'm not saying that she's not nuts. I agree that she's nuts, but
all right, good.
But I think that people will learn how to play around her, and I think that Rex, like if Rex gets popular, I don't know if Price can hang around in that meta.
Yeah, that's interesting. The problem with her is to play around her is to claim early,
right?
And like I think you can make a Price deck that really punishes people for that. What if you played cards like, jeez, I can't remember the name of any cards. The 1-cost card that lets you draw back up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, okay, I'm good, and then you're like, no, you're not. You're totally wrecked. You should not have done that.
See that is super interesting to me.
Boundless ambition. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that deck would look like, right?
I mean, you go like Price Kylo, and then you have leadership, boundless. You have like I don't know, a bunch of stuff to just wreck your opponent after they claim.
Maul Saber. They're trying to hustle through their turn as fast as possible. I mean, this special with Maul Saber against a deck that claims early, that is devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's going to be really strong.
She's nuts. Trust me, I'm not saying that she's not nuts.
I think the problem is the way to play around her is to lose. Which is bad. Like you don't want to claim crazy early. So I think the really, really good players will be okay, right? Because they'll figure out the moment, right, where now I claim and it's okay. I think she's going to be so hard on players who are lesser skilled. They either won't claim in time, or they'll be like, "Oh God, it's a price deck. A resolve a die, claim." You're like, oh, you should not have done that. Oh, geez.
Yeah, she is
Okay.
a very skill testing character to play against. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Luke, man. New Luke is
Oh,
good.
Luke is a beast.
I'm so sad he's a legendary because I probably won't have him.
Remember when you said Anakin was the best character in the set?
Oh, what was I talking about? Luke is insane. I mean, he is just like, hey, do you like synchronicity? Every time, man. Every
Yeah.
time, synchronicity. You know what? He's so good with synchronicity. Does he make the card where you
Return
go?
of the Jedi.
What's that? Yeah. And then you can
Yeah,
play, because you can
maybe.
play it with several things, right? So one would be synchronicity. I don't know what else you play with it, but yeah, you get to basically every single turn. You're like, boom, 2 damage synchronicity and 4 damage melee. Just from Luke, by the way. I got another character
Yeah,
and
his
weapons.
his die is just so good.
Yeah,
So good.
And I like the power action. I think this power action is really interesting. I just love the fact that you can put abilities on Luke and then just move them. Like, I don't know, you get to use it twice a turn. You get to bait them into going for Luke and then load up the other guy. I don't know. I feel like he's really... That's hilarious. They'll bait them into killing Luke. They gotta kill Luke. He's insane.
Yeah. I actually in most of the games that I've played against Luke recently, if I see that they're like ability heavy,
Yeah.
I'll go for the other character
Yep,
so
that
that
seems reasonable.
they can't power action. Yeah, I think the power action is like it's obviously better that he has it than that he doesn't have it, but I don't think that it's worth building around. I think that it's like a nice addition for things like Force Speed or like Force Illusion, like cards that you're already playing in your deck. But I don't think that it's worth like building your entire deck around.
Yeah, but that's because you weren't playing Bestow and Funeral Pyre.
That's true. I was not playing either of those cards.
Imagine that. You're like, you put the ability on Luke, you use it, you power it action it over, then you're able to bring it back. I don't know.
Is Bestow weapon only?
Oh, you know, I didn't very well. Maybe I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know what it says.
Yeah, I don't know either. Nobody plays
What
that card.
about this? Does this become a real archetype? And I think the answer is no. New Ezra, he has a power action that you just put 1 upgrade on him, and you get to draw a card, and then you have old Luke, he draws a card. You have a little more card draw, and then you do all the crazy stuff where I don't even remember the names of these cards. The support that lets you discard 1 copy of a card and play the other one for free, and then you have that the one where you stick it under the card. What are these cards called, Mike? Help me.
The Force is strong and premonitions.
Premonitions. There you go.
Yeah.
You premonition stuff, and then your opponent's like, hold on. So you got all of these free cards because you have all this card draw? That's not going to work, right? Like, that's just crazy talk.
I mean, how many cards can you draw in turn? You get your 5. You get 1 from Luke, and then you get at least 1 from Ezra. So you're at least 7 cards, which is almost a third of your deck. If you have 3 upgrades on Ezra for some reason, you get another 1. So I don't know, man. I think it's possible.
3.
I like it. I like it.
I don't like it, but I love the idea.
I like the idea.
Yeah, I don't think it would work, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will try.
All right, we got time for like 2 more cards that we think are going to be great.
All right. I think that the card Pacify is really, really cool.
I don't think I know Pacify. Is this a new one?
Yeah, it's a new one. It is a 0-cost hero card. It's blue. And it's remove a character die and give that character 2 shields.
Huh. I
So,
like that a lot.
yeah, extremely
Wow.
flexible. Use it on your character or your opponent's character. This is an obvious, like, include in any hero mill deck that's blue.
Yeah.
It's just free removal with no downside.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think that this is sweet.
this is basically no memory anymore. The card that you remove a character die and get 3 shields.
Caution.
Yeah, doesn't caution cost 1, or is it free?
Caution's free. But so here's my reason why I think that they're like they still each have their place. Like Pacify, it wants you to remove the character die that you want to give the shields to. So it's like
Yeah.
with caution, you're often removing your worst character die to give your best character 3 shields.
Yep.
This you have to theoretically move your best character die to give them 2 shields.
Yeah.
So.
But I think it's just so
But
much
it's just
health
good.
at that point. Like if you play
Yeah.
2 copies of
Play
each,
both.
yeah, that seems insane to me. And
You're
then
adding an extra what? No, yeah, 10 health to your deck for 0 cost and 4 cards.
Mike, you haven't remembered Return of the Jedi.
Oh right.
Yeah, and Pacify's never a dead card, which has always been like
Mm-hmm.
the caution issue with the 2 character decks is like, oh, I need caution, but I don't want to use caution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Pacify looks really, really, really good.
Like turn your blank into 2 shields. Seems good.
Yeah, that seems
Your opponent rolled out like a +3 and a 3. Like remove the 3 and give them 2 shields if you need to.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
So.
Yeah, okay. There's one more thing I want to talk about before we go, and that is why is Grievous always bad? Really?
Great question.
This Grievous, he's so cool. It's such a neat idea. But like, if you're gonna make a Grievous where you gotta put 4 weapons on him, the dude needs to be like 19 health. He needs to be 22, 30, 19 health, same dice, so that you get rewarded for going all in because that's what you had to do anyway.
Absolutely. I mentioned this on our last podcast.
Yeah.
The lost episode. That my biggest problem with him is that his power action incentivizes you to play the 4 cheapest weapons that you can find in the game, which are all guns.
Yep.
When Grievous's entire thing is about specifically using lightsabers.
Yeah. And I came up with a great idea for a Grievous card. I can't remember the details, of course, because that's how I am. But it was something like a cheaper Grievous, substantially cheaper, but then low health, like 10 health, 9 health. But then he says something like lightsabers cost 1 less to go on him, but lose redeploy. So you can go all in on him, and he's a beast, but when he dies, you're pretty wrecked. And so you have to like try to walk that line of how do I keep him alive? Is it worth putting 3, 4 upgrades on him if I know they're all going away? What do I do? I think that has a lot of push and pull and excitement to it, where this is like, if you get to this unrealistic scenario, good for you.
Yeah, totally with you. I think that this Grievous is the Mace of this set.
I don't think so. I think Mace was reasonably playable. Like, this is like tier 7.
Mace? When was Mace playable?
People played Mace and did well with him for a short...
Before people found Pomaz.
I don't remember. I just remember people saying, like, I won this event with him, and I just shook my head and was like, well, then you could have won with a lot of other choices, my friend. But apparently you won with Mace. Good for you. I think he's worse than Mace. I don't think he's going to have any moments where he's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree that he's bad.
Yeah. He's the legendary that if I get...
Yeah, you don't want this one.
Yeah, I'll be very sad.
Yeah.
I'll be really, really, really sad.
Yeah. The sad part is that even in draft he kind of sucks. Well,
I don't know.
He does have 13 health, and there's a lot to be said about that.
I think he might be okay in draft, just because he has also a
15
3 side.
points a lot, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, who do you play with him at 15?
In draft?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, you have to get lucky. You got to draft.
Because you have to then draft a 9-cost character so you can play him with a Jawa and a 9-cost.
It's not my Jawa. It's not the Jawa where you get to look at their hand. It's the garbage Jawa. Oh, that's too bad. All right, Mike. Well, I'm excited for Ways of the Force to come out. I don't think I'm going to buy boxes, though. This set has not compelled me to think I want all the legendaries. There's only a couple I want, actually.
Yeah. I went the opposite direction. I tried out a saga set this time around, so we'll see how that goes.
Interesting. I know Bruno is he's probably out, But you know me, I'm trying to get him back in so I can play. And he's considering buying 2 saga sets and just being done.
Oof.
So
Two seems like a lot to me. I don't know. I'm content with 1 and then just to draft for the rest of legendaries and or just like buy singles.
You know what I'm content with?
If I feel like I need them.
Just buying a couple cards and then being
singles.
like, hey Mike, you got any Lukes you can loan me? and until you do, I've got like these terrible proxies of Luke. Yeah, that's what you're gonna see me with.
I don't mind that route.
Yeah, that's the way I'm gonna go with this set. We'll see how it goes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll see. And then in 7 more months, we'll have another set. I heard the date's been announced for the next set. I didn't see it, but is that true?
No.
No. Okay. Maybe someone just
Q4 has been announced, but that is not a date.
Q4 has been announced. Okay,
no month starts with the letter Q.
Not that I'm aware of. No. Okay. Well, someday we'll have dates. No, we won't.
Yeah. What they did say is that the delay of set 5 has nothing to do with the release date of set 6.
Oh, that's the worst news I've ever heard.
Right?
That means
we
set
are all
6
going to
could
have
be
to
like
purchase
September.
It could easily be September.
If there's a way to drive a person out of the game who's like, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the cost, a way to do that is that way.
Yes, exactly.
I can't even tell John about this because he'll be instantly out, and now I feel like a bad person if I don't tell him this.
I'm sorry. I should have kept that to myself.
The heavy weight that I carry, Mike. All right. Well, thanks so much to everyone for sticking with the Smugglers Den. Thank you, Mike, for coming on the Smugglers Den. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Not in school this summer, so I might be able to do this every single week again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So until then, you know what they say, Mike.
Keep smuggling.
Keep smuggling. All right. See you guys next time.